Were there any trends or themes that I noticed at the CoreNet 2022 Global Summit? Yeah, I think that everybody's trying to figure out how to be more data driven with their decision making, whether it's occupancy sensors, trying to figure out how spaces are being utilized, whether it's trying to capture lease data so that they can act on lease obligations and opportunities quicker than they did prior to the pandemic. All of these things are leading towards kind of a focal point of being much more automated with how decisions are made from a corporate real estate perspective. I think everyone at the conference can agree that the dynamic of how people occupy space may never change. Now it's just about trying to figure out how to turn the dials so that you can continuously assess your portfolio and make rapid decisions.
Yeah, there were a number. I think the overarching theme really seemed to be about companies being super focused on the productivity of the employee and how that relates to this idea of this return to the office and how companies are going to be using real estate. And what's interesting about this, it seems like there's a lot of pressure on real estate teams to solve this problem or manage these concerns from upper management. And I think with that brings a lot of sort of philosophical conversations that seem to be happening across the board. Everyone's trying to figure out what to do, how to manage maybe expectations from the top with what the employee is really looking for. They're trying to answer these questions about what do our employees do, how do they work, what do they want, and how do they think about that in terms of their existing real estate portfolio, in addition to where they see that real estate portfolio, those real estate needs going in the future.
What is the biggest opportunity for office occupiers today? That's a really big question. I think in times of kind of uncertainty, that's where the biggest opportunities are. So I think there's a ton of opportunity for office occupiers today. But I think the most obvious one is like listening to the people that work at the company, because the employee has gained so much more power in the discussion of how they want to work today, that if you're just trying to push a top-down strategy about return to the office, you're going to turn away a lot of really talented employees or prospective employees to a company. So I think there's a really good opportunity for companies to use their workplace strategy as a recruiting tool, as a brand building tool. But the second part of opportunity, I think, is just generally with the real estate market. You're continuing to see big tech companies shed jobs and therefore shed space. This will obviously have a lagging effect on fundamentals in the market with respect to rents, asking rents, sublease space availabilities, potential more flexibility in non-economic lease terms. So just like in any downturn, I think there's opportunity for tenants to lock in favorable conditions. Obviously, that's difficult if you don't have a really hard grasp on like what the future of your portfolio should look like. So there's a little bit of a push and pull, but I think in any down market, if you're confident enough in your business, then now's the time to strike. What is the biggest opportunity for commercial real estate brokers today? I think it's just doubling down on the things that add value to your clients. Every broker is pretty good at their job when the market's hot and leases are signing on a daily basis. But these are the types of markets where it's really important to focus on solving problems for your customers. Because as we've described with the corporate real estate execs, they're trying to figure a lot of stuff out. So if you can align the resources that your company has to those problems of your customers, then you'll endear yourself to clients and hopefully have a good year as a broker. I think one thread with that is how do you move technology into your workflow so that your customers are actually getting that information and that data on a more regular basis, or at least a more centralized, transparent basis. Because I think one of the dynamics of the commercial real estate industry that might get kind of turned on its head with this new kind of marketplace we're going into is just that need for information on behalf of the tenants is so much stronger now. And that if you're still kind of working in this world of kind of darkness or siloed information, keeping things close to your chest that won't work out to your advantage as a broker anymore.
What are the biggest opportunities for brokers today? Right now, it seems that everyone is still kind of a bit in the dark over the concerns of the economy and how that's going to affect how companies use real estate. It might mean that transaction volume is down. However, this does present a really good opportunity for a lot of tenant rep brokers to get more ingrained with their clients and prospects. It gives them that opportunity to be really true advisors to their clients, not just as it relates to a lease expiration, but how they can really provide insight about how other clients of theirs are using office space, kind of managing this idea of return to work. How can they kind of help these companies think through their operational needs and how that relates to future real estate needs and what they do with their existing portfolio today, and just helping people understand their portfolio in more detail. Where can they get ahead of things where companies need to make a request from a landlord or make some sort of business decision? If tenant brokers really put a focus on that right now, as the economy turns and the economy picks up and the real estate market picks up, they're just going to be really well positioned to be the go-to advisor for a lot of companies out there and benefit from that long term.
Is there anything else from CoreNet Global 2022 that I'd like to share? Yes, I can definitively say that Lou Malnati's has the best deep dish pizza in Chicago. I will admit we did sneak away for a rather heavy lunch, but it has my vote.